Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today in the arena, I am playing Ayara Brawl. So, this is it's going to be a black catch-up kind of thing. We got to catch up with the Brawl format and some of our color challenges, because I do like Brawl and I want to do it in the color challenge, but I'm a little bit behind, or ahead if you want to look at it that way, on the color challenge. I've already done mono black, mono green, and mono blue, so catch-up time for Brawl, and we're going to go back to black, and we're going to play Ayara Black. Ayara has a nice ability that whenever another black creature enters the battlefield, each opponent loses a life, you gain life, and sacrifice a black creature to draw a card. The idea of always having this does make me want to play a bunch of small black creatures and be very aggressive, but there just aren't enough of them in the format. We're actually really low on that. And as much as I want to play a black aristocrats type shell, trying to get all those sacrifice synergies together is very difficult. For example, Cauldron Familiar is great. Witch's Oven is great. Together, they are a combo that's much better than their 1 mana sum of their parts. However, you only get one of each, which means you just don't get the combo together often enough, which makes trying to play either card much weaker since they're not very good without each other. Each card, you can argue, does a little of this and a little of that, but if we're being real, they're not that good without each other. So instead of going down a road where I was trying to abuse the same kind of sacrifice mechanics that we do in standard aristocrats, where we have 4 of each card available, in Brawl, I am trying to run a deck that is more powerful. I can see how, and I've had this discussion with some of my viewers on Twitch, but I can see how in Commander it makes sense. You have access to all the cards from Magic's history, so you want every card to synergize with your Commander, and that's one of the fun things about Commander. Brawl doesn't have a large enough card pool for that to work out just yet. So while I have many cards that do synergize with my Commander, the cards also need to be individually strong, because each card slot is pressured to do enough to keep up with what the opponent does. So instead of making this all a very small aggressive black deck, it's more of a mid-range deck with a lot of removal, a lot of good individually powerful cards, and some sacrifice synergy. As we go down the list, we see that most of the cards do something on their own to either generate value, or to remove the opponent's threat, or just put pressure on the opponent. So that's what we're going for here. A few interesting cards is Clockwork Servant. In monocolored Brawl, you just kind of want to 3 mana 2/3 that draws a card to keep the velocity going. A little bit of value can go a long way. And removal has been key, so I'm running pretty much all of the Planeswalker removal and a lot of the big creature removal that I can find. And then as we go further up the chain, of course, we run into all kinds of fun cards. The mythic rares, the mythics in the 5 and the 6 drop. I do have a Sir Conrad. I'm not sure if he'll stay in the deck, but it seems like a pretty fun Brawl card that I want to try. Then up on the top end, Liliana, the Taste for Death, the Citadel, the Ugin, and I have the 24 lands along with a banner. That might be too few, and there is a Signet that we can run, so I think I'll get that into the deck. And as far as what to take out, what just isn't that powerful, honestly, it's probably Sir Conrad as a card that doesn't really fit in with what I'm trying to do of just individual strength. Another questionable one is Priest of the Forgotten Gods. If we don't have enough cards worthy of sacrifice to the priest, it's a much worse card. And yeah, as much as I love Priest of the Forgotten Gods, and I do mean I love it, it's gotta go. So that will have to do. All right, let's get right in and let the Brawl nonsense begin. Those intense sound effects, I don't know if I'll get used to them. Corvold Sacrifice, so our opponent might be moving in on the sacrifice mechanic themselves. A card to be afraid of is Mayhem Devil. Ayara is not very much fun if your opponent has a Mayhem Devil cooking. And the Corvold in general, we're going to have to remove it early and often, so we're looking for those removal spells. You see a Murder, you see a Taste of Death, you see a Gruesome Menagerie. I think we can try out this hand. Let's rock and roll. Blood Crypt versus Blood for Bones. What will be the bloodiest? There's definitely a deck where putting Ayara in the graveyard isn't always the absolute worst idea. We have lots of ways to get her back and do mean things. So we get the first play of the day with the Orzhov Enforcer. Our opponent doesn't show green mana yet. Maybe they have something up their sleeve. A Gateway Plaza. Well, that's good for the 3-color decks. Let's go ahead and get you on the board. Get a little drain and gain action. Next turn we can sacrifice our Enforcer to draw if we like. That is, assuming Ayara lives to see it. There's the green mana, and Rankle is already here to spoil some fun. Well, you know, depends on your definition of fun, right? Let's see what the opponent does with Rankle. It could make me discard here, which would be funny since I could discard Sir Conrad and get it back with Blood for Bones next turn. Sounds pretty fun to me. Let's go ahead and first we'll attack with the Enforcer, then we'll sacrifice it to Ayara, then we'll sacrifice the token to cast Blood for Bones. At that point we're not doing anything. At that point, we're actually not doing anything about the Rankle. So, do I want to kill the Rankle here? I can just make a blocker for it instead and just leave the token around. Regardless, we can definitely start here. Yeah, this is what we'll do. Instead of sacrificing the Enforcer to draw a card here, we'll use Blood for Bones to sacrifice the Enforcer. It will make the token, which can at least defense up to block the Rankle. We'll get Sire Conrad onto the battlefield, the Enforcer into our hand. Triggers from Sire Conrad, which says whenever a creature dies or leaves the battlefield or blah 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 blah, the opponent loses a life, and away we go. And now we can chump block the Rankle and then sacrifice the creature to draw a card. At least that's the plan. If the opponent removes the creature, obviously it's a lot worse. Oh, they did not like that turn. They did not like that one little bit. They're out of here. Alright. Hand is fine. Kill a thing, kill a thing. I'm going to save this to draw a card because I don't think just having a Death Toucher on the field is very important. And our opponent opens on Witch's Cottage, and we see Kaya the Usurper. There's an exciting one I haven't worked on yet. Tome of Legends hits the battlefield. Whenever your commander enters the battlefield or attacks, put a page counter on the Tome of Legends. Remove a page counter to draw a card. I thought about it. I didn't think I'd be able to attack that often with Ayara. And that was one of the reasons I did not play that card. So, I guess we just get this down and start going after our opponent's hand ASAP. Since they're not putting any pressure on us, it seems like the right play.
Don't think you'll be needing that.
So we'll just hit them in the hand. Planar Cleansing. Some kind of a black-white control shell, perhaps? Ew. It seems like a mess. Another card that maybe shouldn't be in the deck I'm starting to feel is Gruesome Menagerie. That doesn't have quite enough hits.
A mind is a terrific thing to waste.
So, I sort of want to play this, but it will most certainly die. I want to use this to draw a card, but we don't have to do that right now. Let's get the Dreadhorde Invasion down just so something starts happening. My opponent's taking it slow. I need to take it pretty slow myself and be patient. Johnny. Okay. Pride mates are coming. Probably drawing a card and playing the Death Touch Knight here. Try to set up for sort of a Massacre Girl situation. I'm also just going to fire off Davriel here and get another card. It's 3 cards for 1 card. I think we just have to be happy to take what we can get. And we'll see how the opponent handles life gain now that they have both Pride mates. Blast Zone. It's a wacky combination of stuff so far. Obviously, Kaya can gain life if we end up with something in our graveyard. And because we have a castle, we sort of just want to empty our hand quickly. I just don't know if that plays well with Menagerie or with Massacre Girl here. Let's attack the Johnny and see what the opponent does about it. Curious to see if they have instant speed life gain or something to mess with me. It's tough blocks for them either way. Both of my sources are borderline renewable. Yeah, we're just gonna trade away our cats to keep a planeswalker. Okay. Maybe not. Maybe there's life gain up your sleeve. A late price of fame. Okay. Full price too. You know they didn't really want to do that. They'd have preferred to hit Ayara. They did not get to. So we still trade off our Death Toucher. We can play you, we can use this to get the Death Toucher back. We can drop the Massacre Girl. It's not exactly great. None of it's exactly great. The opponent kept on top, so I would expect them to have some kind of a play. Maybe what I really want to do is murder the Pridemate, but we have 6 mana. Let's get Ayara down. Ayara Dreadhorde is a little bit of a combo.
Find your inner strength.
You get a card, you get a drain. The opponent will want to do something about it. And here's Teysa. Hi, Teysa. What you up to? Is this a Massacre Girl worthy board, I wonder? The opponent doesn't even want to attack. Doesn't feel like a Massacre Gal worthy board. And I don't see a death effect yet to combine with Teysa, which makes me think I'll just shoot down this token and that will be fine. Again, working on emptying my hand. I want the castle to do something. I don't have a good attack. I could draw another card. Could also get back just to Falmir Knight, which seems pretty bad. And I could play a Massacre Girl, but maybe we're just playing Massacre Girl without the board sweeping effect, just to have the body. Burglar Rat. It's fine. I think I am... Well, this way, if this dies, I do have all 3 for the Gruesome. But yeah, let's play this without good targets. I don't think I need them. And we'll play this afterwards so that it doesn't trigger the death cycle and get another card from our opponent's hand. If this and Ayara die, Gruesome Menagerie does something. Spark Harvest. What do you have to go with this Teysa, I wonder? Should Teysa have been the murder target? Mobilized District can turn to a 3/3 citizen creature with vigilance until end of turn. Counts 1 less for each legendary, which we have 2. So it is a very cheap 3/3. And is Kaya going to come out and play? I do have a creature in my graveyard if you want a little bit of life. And that definitely makes Menagerie bad. I won't say it doesn't. I know better. Plus you get a counter on your Tome of Legends, which you probably need the card. It seems like when you're down to 1 card, you're running low on your options. Teysa's coming in. Seems like there's probably a Wrath here. I'll go ahead and take the block. If the opponent's gonna Wrath me, then Gruesome Menagerie is looking lovely. It's Massacre Girl. Okay. The opponent matched Massacre Gals with us. So that was gonna happen anyway. We'll go to the graveyard here. Since the opponent can't play Kaya and exile her yet, the Gruesome Menagerie gets much better. And the opponent wants to keep the Ajani, so it's just a plus to gain a little life. Murderous Rider off the top, that's not bad. Menagerie. Yeah, done. Check out the triggers on this one. Unfortunately, I don't get to make the opponent discard a card. My life is slightly incomplete. And, we will Murderous Rider. We'll put a swift end to the Ajani before it makes another Pridemate. The opponent's impressed by my draw. I understand. Let's see if they can clean anything up here. The Kaya can mine us to exile the Falmir Knight, but at the same time Blast Zone could blow it up. I'm not sure which the opponent would rather do, and it does look like they're going after the Falmir Knight. Is this... you want to attack me? No. Order of the Midnight. Well, I don't have a creature in my graveyard, but I can make Kaya go away. The opponent can Massacre Girl block. They would block Ayara. I can get it back. It's fine. 1 legend, 2 legends. The opponent can make a 3/3 here. Oops. Yeah, I guess we don't really want to run into that, do we? So what's the play? We don't have anything in the graveyard. We could put the rat there and get it back. I guess we'll do what we have to draw some cards. Ultra Fate. Ooh, yeah, Massacre Girl's down there. I don't have any 1/1s, right? Right. So I can play this. I can just have my own 4/4 menace on the battlefield, which I guess is fine. It's fine. This is fine. Trigger, trigger. But it's not going to kill anything, and that there's a reason for that. It's designed that way. It's a feature, not a bug. We don't want to kill anything, really. We like where we're at. We like our card advantage engines being online. We like having a nice large creature. Opponent's probably up in the Blast Zone. Blast Zone would destroy their own Tome of Legends if they use it on 2, but it would also get rid of Invasion and Order. So I'm curious what they do.
Better watch your back from here on out.
I'm watching my back, Kaya. I don't want nothing bad to happen. I got my eye on it. Careful taps. What are we doing? Something. Oh, our opponent drew their own order. So again, getting back Teysa, but with no death triggers. It's one of those examples where I think the opponent's a little hung up on synergy when it's really hard to do in the format. Okay, they're drawing now. If we draw a Yarok's Fenlurker, maybe we can make them discard that. A Rankle would do it too. Not bad, not bad. So if I send all of these at the Kaya, it's probably about to die. The opponent, of course, gets to recast it for 5, but the more expensive, the better. The Ayara can pick off anything that gets blocked in such a way that it would bother me. But we don't want cards like Gutter Bones meeting their end via Kaya the Orzhov Usurper. So it's interesting to play around. What you got? What you got? It's a battle for position here. And it's Massacre Girl blocking the 3/3. So we'll draw a card. Ooh. And probably to the command zone, I'm guessing. Alright, so here's my Reggie. Now, one card I would definitely consider discarding is the Gutter Bones, but if I draw a card here with the castle, I'm very likely to have to discard it. Still, if we hit a land, we keep moving our land drops forward, and we pay one less life if we play the Gutter Bones. So the question is, do I pay 1 more life and possibly have a card I want to keep? I think so. I think we wait. I think we pay 1 more life just in case it was a card we wanted. And I think I'd rather have this down. So yeah, the deck is cooking. We're starting to draw multiple cards a turn. Our opponent still has a few cards in hand. They still have a Tome of Legends. Their commander has a reasonable cost. They're definitely not out of it. Ethereal Absolution is a very powerful card. A very powerful card against us, and we have only an Ugin to try to deal with it. And the opponent says go. This is not in our hand. This is graveyard. This is adventure, so nothing gets discarded. The card, the Dreadhorde Invasion, enters the battlefield and immediately dies. Lol. Now what? What do we do? This is not good, and we don't want any creatures in our graveyard, so we have to get the Gutter Bones out, which makes the God Eternal Bantu a very awkward card here. Again, if we just keep it in our hand, the Regisaur makes us discard it, so we need to play it for something. Rah rah. Show him what's up. The opponent wants to trade with the Regisaur. So that will go to the graveyard, obviously, which the Absolution can hit. It's not great. I could sacrifice it to draw a card instead of letting it go to the graveyard, but that seems bad. All right, now what? Actually, putting this onto the battlefield is kind of a drain combo because it goes directly back in the graveyard, so every 3 mana is a Gutterbones drain. Hype. Unfortunately, the Kaya will eventually come down and get it, but this is a pretty funny thing to showcase, I suppose. So that's 1. We could do this a bunch of times. Well, 2 more times to be exact. And then it's just done as soon as the opponent can use the Absolution to sweep it. Is that how we finish this game? Our opponent does have this great life gain source, but it does require cards in the graveyard. Well, might as well do it while we can. We sure showed them. We sure showed them to use an OP card like Ethereal Absolution in Brawl. We sure taught them a lesson. Careful taps. Commander returns.
This will be child's play.
Nom nom graveyard. Got it.
You'd better watch your back.
And our opponent wisely leaves the Rotting Regisaur. This has Menace, so I think we're just knocking this out again unless the opponent... Well, they can make the District, and it is a 4/4. So we need a removal spell here. Pretty badly. Not exactly it. If I sacrifice the Order of the Midnight and put it back in my hand, I have a way to get back a creature in the future. That's particularly strong. I really did need a way to deal with one of these. I could just try to draw it. Bantu? More Menace? So we'll give up the Dreadhorde Invasion, because it's not really doing much anymore. The drain for 1 is probably not good enough. I don't want to give up too many lands. I think that many is probably enough. But we're trying to hit a removal. Did we do it? We hit Epic Downfall. That will make it possible. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we do this, we still have 4 mana left over, which can play Spawn If we play the banner, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't play anything else, so. All right. Go away. If this is gone, the opponent can't even activate the district, right? They don't have any other legendary permanents? Okay. Actually, let's hold that back. If the opponent uses a removal spell, I'll want that card draw. Oh. Oh, no. All right, well. I kind of do want it. I kind of do want it exiled, to be honest, because it does let my opponent Ethereal Absolute it, but I guess we'll do what we gotta do. With their last card, had to be relevant. All right?
Try that again. I dare you.
Wow, what a trash-talking machine. So I could give up, like, my Order of the Midnight to get my Rotting Regisaur back. I guess that's pretty strong. And I could have the Massacre Girl in my hand, which might matter. I lose the Order of the Midnight, but I think that those two cards are stronger. At the same time, a Spawn of Mayhem is really good. Yeah, we'll spawn it up. We'll spawn it up instead. The opponent will exile one of those creatures. It'll be okay. And we're trying to break through, trying to finish this frickin' game that has turned into an all-out slugfest. Thank God we got that planar cleansing discarded a million years ago, am I right?
I had guild business to attend to anyway.
Bye-bye, Regisaur. Massacre Girl is still down there, along with a bunch of swamps now. Locket was the draw. Tome will draw a card. Opponent digging for action. I think it's maybe time the Absolution should start digging at my graveyard instead of the Kaya. Those 2/2 spirits get obnoxious. They blank more of my board than I care to admit. And there's Ugin. Ugin was the answer we needed. And this is 7/8, so we can play the banner. Black, rebuff things. Play Ugin. Crush the Absolution. And that's all that was keeping the opponent in the game. They're taking a hike. Wow, epic. 20-minute brawl fest over here. We're gonna need a restart from the memory leak. Ah, Tulane, the teller of tales. God, this from the pre-con I remember. The epic downfall is good for Tulane, but the rest of the hand is too slow. Too slow to begin the training. No answer for Tulane here. I mean, just killing this on time, I think, is going to be very crucial. So, I'm nervous. I'm nervous, but I'm just gonna push out some cards and go for it. Drew the Signet, that's not bad. The Blood for Bones will be a lot better if we get the Doom Whisperer cast. And our opponent has a ramp card. Yikes. Alright, Ayara, come on out. We need something to do this turn. Let's start drain gaining our opponent. We get commander advantage. When we get to 6 mana... Oh. Oh. Criminy. Alright. The opponent's gonna give us something else to deal with. But yeah, here's Doomy. Let's fight. I got a 6/6 Flample. So let's see what we see with Doom Whisper. If I see a removal spell really quickly, I don't. And I see basically some small cards that I don't really want. I do have another land, so I think I can block here and Witch's Cottage this back to the top and have Ugin for Tulane. That's not bad. I'm just trying to decide if I also want to throw any more stuff into the graveyard. I don't think so. This is fine. It's fine. This is fine. Out of there. Out of there. And we'll see how the opponent plays it now. Like I said, I can just cottage this back to the top, or I could Blood for Bones it, or I can order it from the midnight. Oh man, our opponent is ramping. We're gonna want instant speed removal for Chillane, which might be too much to ask. Our opponent will probably get a lot of value out of it. This is sorcery speed, kind of pretty rough. But let's go ahead and stack our deck with the Doomy, and then Ugin it to the top. So when the spirit dies, we get the Doom Whisperer, and when we sacrifice the spirit, we get the Doom Whisperer. So pretty good. Let's keep our Ayara back to sacrifice our spirit potentially. At least we want the option. So we've got our own value engine cooking. I'm curious what the opponent has to deal with the Ugin. And here we go. Rude. What are you doing with that? Yep, take the Ugin, sure. Sacrifice a black creature. Good to know. Good to know. That's Citadel. Juicy. Tempting. Not gonna do it. We absolutely must get this thing back where it came from quickly. And the best way to do that here is to let Ugin do the heavy lifting. Smash. Then we'll Blood for Bones it. Sacrifice this. Get this to our hand. Get back, we'll say the Fenlurker, hit the opponent in the hand, put a Knight of the Ebon Legion in our hand, get a little drain gain. Exile a card. Knight of Autumn, nice. Well, kind of nice. I think that means the opponent has a pretty good hand. I think that's gonna be an issue. And look at their mana. Their mana is absurd already, 9 mana. What a challenge we have here. Here's a Thorn Mammoth. That is gonna fight something. Well, the opponent can't attack down the Ugin now. I'm gonna take a draw from this Fenlurker. I think having it on the board is not very important, and I think I need to draw a solution to my problem. This thing is freaking huge. We'll go to the command zone for the Ayara. We may not see her again for a little while. Another swamp. This part I know. I don't think I'm playing the Bolas's Citadel this turn because it doesn't keep up on the board. I think I need a 6/6, something to fight with the Thorn Mammoth. And to set up a removal spell on top of our deck, because things are about to get ugly. And then I think I'll just get back the Fenlurker by using Alter Fate, because almost anything else we put on the battlefield is going to get eaten up by the Mammoth when a creature enters the battlefield. This says whenever another creature enters the battlefield, the Mammoth bites. Oh god. That's so bad. Oh man. Alright. Can we find some removal here? Massacre Girl. I have a Falmir Knight that will end up in my hand and a Fenlurker. That will do. This in the graveyard is fine. This on top. We need a lot of creatures to die to deal with the Mammoth, but it's not, I wouldn't say it's undoable. This is a pair of 2/2s. This is a 1/1. So that's 1, 2, 3. Bye, Ugin. You tried, dude. You repped well, man. 6 mana is too much for Chillane right now, plus the opponent wouldn't want to play Chillane right now, but they can grow their Incubation Druid, which is a headache. Ooh, that's something for the girl. 1, 2, 3. Ah, but we needed that around. Okay. I was trying to figure out if I could snaggle it so that the opponent would have to fight the Falmir Knight. Doesn't look like that's how the card works. Could just deploy a whole bunch of creatures, though. I think this one does come out because whatever's in our opponent's hand is Dece. Ah, they held the Tranquil Cove. Still, you can't be upset about getting a land there. Yep, let's use the insight. Taste of Death. Bad A. And we'll play these out. If the opponent uses the Mammoth to fight some of them, that sucks, but with Taste of Death ready to go, I guess we'll just see what happens. Tough decisions. Nissa who shakes the world. Gross. I feel like we've been short the removal we needed in this game.
Behold, nature's true power.
Who wants to rumble? Massacre Girl, though, gets the Mammoth now. And here comes Tulane, so okay. The trigger takes out the Order of the Midnight. Yeah. Really? Well, I'll take it. Now we need an answer to the Nissa. Legendary creature. Not a planeswalker. Let's see, we'll have 3 mana left over. I guess that can play a Knight. That's probably about the size of it. Attacking here doesn't accomplish much. It's a little bit of recovery, although that Nissa is really gonna hurt. The opponent can play Tulane and some pretty big things, so I should probably just leave the mana. Well, I'm gonna leave it up anyway after I play the Knight of the Ebon Legion. And then your turn. I guess these are some pretty good attackers against the elemental creatures, but what can the opponent do with all that mana and 2 cards? That's the real question now, and it's Cast Off? Jesus. Why do I feel like everything's not going right? It's a good back and forth, to be honest. It just feels like I'm endlessly behind.
The land fights for us.
Oh yeah. Look at it fighting. Liliana. I think we just gotta get the Citadel going here. We've gotta power through this. Dreadhorde Invasion. That's 2 life for something that cost me more life and then more life. So I think what I'm looking at here is the opponent getting out Tulane. I'll Price of Fame it. The opponent will get 1 trigger, have 3 creatures, and then Taste of Death. So we'll just pass here. By the same token, maybe getting Liliana out in that spot's better. I thought the Citadel would... Well, we've got to find a solution to Nissa. So, I guess the Citadel's going to try to do that. The lower our life total gets, the harder that's going to be. Here it comes. Here's the targeting from Nissa, so before the opponent can play another creature and put something on the stack, we'll Price of Fame this back where it came from. And we're looking for Nissa answers. No and no. Veil. Rankle. Well, you can keep Nissa from ultimating. I guess that's the best thing I've seen so far. Swamp off the top. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's really tough. It's 1 mana short of I think where I'd want to be. And this is not an instant, and this is about to ultimate. But I guess if you ultimate and fetch a whole bunch of land, that's bad. But if you don't have any mana creatures, it doesn't really matter. So yeah, we'll just try to keep the opponent off their creatures, but with the Taste of Death. We could also play this and just wipe out 2 planeswalkers. Or 2 land, but then the opponent just animates another one and I'm in trouble all over again. We could also play this, then play this. The opponent's going to have another big turn though. It's a tough call, and it's probably the crucial moment of the game. We could also play a Rankle to block, but then the opponent basically has free reign to do all the things that they might want to do. Alas. Alright. I had a really hard time with this decision. You can tell. But, well, we've got to divert the opponent's attacks away from my life total so the Citadel can be useful. And on 10 mana, we have Rankle and Taste of Death. So it gets better. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Shalane right now costs a lot. Like, a frickin' ton. 11 mana. And the opponent might go for it here. They need this for 11 mana. They didn't make white, so that's why their head is exploding right now. They forgot to make white mana for Shalane. Oh no, never mind. They have the best possible card they could have. The Hydroid Krasis. At the best possible time. That's...
I am exhausted.
That leaves a nasty taste in my mouth. Still, just a clump of land and no answers to Nissa. So, I guess we will use Taste of Death to clear away at least these two things. Stack up some food. And Rankle will pay Nissa a visit here.
Cease this aggression.
And the fight continues. Just feels so behind. I want it to end. I want to be okay. Draw. Halfway through the deck. Have I even found something to kill a Planeswalker? Just the Ugin. The Ugin was really much all I had in this game. And he died. He died fighting. But he still died.
Be wary of the ground you walk on.
And down to 6 is not going to make good for the Citadel. Wow. I don't think I could be more flooded. Alright, well, I've got to Regisaur it. Bond 2. Alright, let's eat some food. Let's play the Bontu. What are we sacrificing? I need the food. Probably a bunch of this land. Add some mana to the mana pool, draw 4. I think having 6, 7 mana left. We still need to be able to also sacrifice the food. Alright. Make it count. Another land. So what can we get back? We can get back a Fenlurker and a Foulmere and a Knight of the Ebon Legion. We don't have a 3. We're missing a 3. This is just loses 1, right? Yep, 1 damage to the opponent when things change zones. We need something to sacrifice. I guess the Rotting Regisaur is a sacrifice target. Do I have enough mana for all these things I want to do? I don't think I do. Don't think I've got it. I think I'm 1 short, but at least we can eat some food and stay alive. We'll sacrifice you. What are we blowing up? The land? The flyer is a pain. I guess we blow up the flyer. Make the opponent deal with that. That way we don't have to... We gotta keep our life total high. And then I think I'm just done for the turn. We're just eating food now, but the opponent doesn't have to know that. My goodness, the land. We're down to 23 cards left in our deck. Somewhere down there is Murderous Rider, Elder Spell. But we probably won't see them until we are well dead. Plague Crafter's down there. Flood of Tears. Okay, so we have to eat our food or we just die. We do get the Doom Whisperer back. The opponent floated enough mana that I don't know if it will matter much. Oh, they didn't have enough permanents to get the freebie? No, they didn't. Huh. So they can replay the Nissa. Oh, this has special creature only mana. I think they just locked themselves out of a play. Wow. Was that just an epic fail on their part? Well, I am really down in mana now. Giving up those lands to the Bantu is going to cost me dearly. I don't even have a cheap creature to play. I could run the Cavalier back out. I could have Sir Conrad on the battlefield and just try to combo kill my opponent a bit. I can rebuild my board with the Grim Menagerie, which gets me again back a Fenlurker, which isn't particularly great. Knight of the Ebon Legion. Just gives me a position though, which I don't currently have. One, 2, and 3. So I would have loved to have Sir Conrad out first. I just don't think I can take the time. I don't think I have the time for that. Smash. Let's see if we can flip this around. Because we're not quite dead. Our opponent's mana isn't great this turn either. We've blown up so many of their lands that to replay Nissa, at most they can have is 6-7, I guess. And Nissa's back. Prison Realm is back. Do I dare use life to doom? Ooh, we're going after the Regisaur. Okay. So I guess you want to attack me with your creatures. Alright. Your land creatures are going to attack. I still don't think you can burn me out, so I just have to watch out for enough hasty things. Uh-huh. I can still block and kill one of these, by the way. So I will. Why not? Keep getting the lands off the battlefield. Keep getting them out of here. Down to 4. My turn. Nissa dies to the Doom Whisperer. Davriel. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We attack Nissa. It's gone. We play probably Cavalier Knight, sacrifice this, blow up Blossoming Sands, and Davriel hit the hand. All right. It's a plan. Finally. Did we kill Nissa? Have we killed the Nissa? Stay dead, please. I don't ever want to see you again. So we'll sacrifice you. Blow up you. One less land. And am I going to finish with more lands on the battlefield than my opponent after sacrificing 4 of them to a Bantu? It looks possible. Tulsamir into the bin. Davriel ability hitting the opponent in the face. No more white sources, I might add. The opponent animated and attacked with their last 2 white sources. And look who it is. It's Oko, Oko, Oko the Broko. Is that a Cavalier of Night? Is that a Doom Whisperer? No, it's an elk.
I invite you to change your ways.
Oh man. But this card may as well be uncastable right now. Completely uncastable. And yeah, you have to play the Hydra. I'm just gonna Davriel it if you don't. And you got a baby 2/3. This is whenever another creature dies. Any creature. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. So we want to play these pre-combat because the opponent might block something with something. And Ayara, you're back. Congratulations. I wanted you out there for the life gains and the drains to try to speed the clock up. I know that God Eternal Bantu is pretty good, but I think you can wait another minute or two while I accumulate resources.
Why do you cross me?
And no need to do this. This is Command Zone, this is Adventure Zone, so just save there, deal 2.
All I've left you is pain.
See what Oko does. Is that a Sire Conrad? No, it's an elk.
Surely you see the humor here.
Oh yeah, I see the humor in you scooping. Yes. What a battle. I can't believe we came out of that. Oh my god. I love my Brawl deck. I don't have changes to recommend. I just want to play it some more. And stay tuned, next time we'll be doing Covert Go Blue Color Challenge Brawl, where I'll probably use Gadwick the Wizened, but to be determined. I might also use Jace. I've got some crazy ideas for the Mono Blue Brawl, and I hope they don't involve persistent petitioners, but it could happen. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.